President Bush, how was the meeting?
Just a minute, wait till I get out of this.
Михаил Сергеевич, какую оценку можно дать переговорам?
Я сегодняшние беседы с президентом
In today's discussions with the President,
оцениваю не менее высоко, чем вчерашний
I rate them
и
no,
предшествующие этому
I
переговоры.
rate them no less than the conversations we had yesterday and day before yesterday over the past 2 days.
Мы очень плодотворно
We worked very constructively and fruitfully,
поработали. И я надеюсь, что без этого дня это был бы другой визит.
and I think that had we not had this day like today, my visit would have been different.
А сегодняшние дискуссии позволяют мне перед вами с большой ответственностью
But the discussions we have had today make it possible for me to state with full responsibility
и взвешенно
and in a balanced manner
сказать о двух, по крайней мере, вещах.
the following two things.
Есть огромные возможности для сотрудничества,
There is-
несмотря на то, что есть реальные проблемы, и мы с президентом на них не закрывали.
There is really ample opportunity for our cooperation, even though there are some real problems to which neither the President nor myself turn a blind eye to.
Я очень высоко оцениваю то сотрудничество, которое складывается у нас в личном плане с президентом Соединенных Штатов.
And I set high store by the personal relationship that the President and myself have established, a personal rapport between us.
За нами большая ответственность
We shoulder great responsibility,
и перед своими народами и другими народами.
both to our peoples as well as to the peoples of other nations.
Но то, что у нас сложились такие отношения, позволяет нам подходить ко всем проблемам
But this kind of personal rapport that we have established enables us to approach all
Быстрее.
problems in a better way
разворачивать аргументацию
by presenting argumentation
и выходить на какой-то баланс.
and reaching a certain balance.
But will you reassess your position on Germany
Но
as a
вы
result of
подтвердили
these
вновь
informal
вашу
talks?
позицию по Германии. Это было предметом ваших бесед?
Да, было, и мы собираемся завтра сказать с президентом об
We
этом.
discussed that, and the President and myself are going to mention
Мы
this subject
продолжали
tomorrow.
обмен и по этому вопросу.
We exchange views on this question
Но
too.
вы должны одну иметь деталь.
But there's one point that has to be borne in mind.
При всей важности наших позиций, нашей ответственности,
For all the importance of our positions and responsibilities,
мы должны помнить, что мы часть этого процесса.
we must remember that we are all part of this process.
Есть шестерка,
There is also the 6,
2+4.
the 2+4 formula.
Есть интересы других европейских государств.
There are also interests of other European nations involved.
И мы, я думаю, с президентом это учитывали.
And I think the President and myself took that into account.
Большой день был.
It's been a big day indeed.
What is your President's
President
progress
President
today?
Bush, how
Well, I
was
would simply say that my assessment of the meeting and President Gorbachev's are in close parallel. He pointed out there's some differences, and I'll point out there's some differences. But as I said yesterday, I see this glass not half empty, but half full and more. And I think the point is we've been able to discuss these differences and the common ground in a very civil way. I will repeat what I have said before, that President Gorbachev has presided over and indeed led in ways that have brought about significant change. And that change benefits mankind, and it benefits U.S.-Soviet relations. So some will argue that we haven't solved all the problems. To me, that's not the point. The point is we have an awful lot of common ground. We sat there today and talked about regional problems, not in the sense of dividing up the world. Maybe that would have happened years ago. But in terms of ironing out problems, achieving common ground as we looked at a lot of regional problems. We did the same thing yesterday and the day before on bilateral problems. So the end of a day here in Camp David, no neckties, very relaxed. The only thing that went wrong is I pride myself as a horseshoe player, and President Gorbachev picked up the horseshoe, never having played the game to my knowledge, and literally all you horseshoe players out there threw a ringer the first time. I like to, really, and I like to think, there's not much more to say.
Well, I couldn't give in after all.
But there's a more significant point, and that is that he pointed out in a very warm and friendly atmosphere at dinner that a horseshoe in the Soviet Union, when posted in one's house, symbolizes warmth and friendship. And that made an impression on me.
Mr. President, Mr. President, it's usually close enough is only good enough usually in horseshoes.
Yeah.
But you went ahead and signed the trade agreement.
Exactly, and a
Despite the
maritime
differences on
agreement and a
Lithuania.
grain agreement and a lot of other agreements, including arms control agreements.
Despite the
And this,
differences
in
on
my
Lithuania.
view, is the interest of the United States. The agreements we signed on arms, the agreement we signed on trade, maritime, Bering Straits. Why do you single out one agreement? I look at the overall relationship. If somebody wants to argue with me, fine, we'll take them on. I'm doing what I think is in the best interest of the United States of America.
Goodbye.
You got it.
Счастливо пути!
У нас прекрасный. Дружеский,
Very friendly,
откровенный.
very frank.